Trigger warning. Ghosts, ghouls, and gruesome stuff ahead. It's weird. It's dark. It's your kind of vibe. Welcome to Haunted and Homicidal, the podcast where true crime meets the paranormal. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Courtney. Every week we uncover the terrifying, the twisted, and the totally unexplainable. Lock your doors and grab your sage.
Because things are about to get haunted and homicidal. Hey guys.
What's up?
It's been a week.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long week.
Lauren's had a rough week.
I have had a very rough week. But that's pretty much the story of my life. I'm pretty much used to it. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Hey, at least we got your paycheck, though.
Yeah. Thank God I was going to lose my shit. All my bills are paid now. Yay. I paid them all this morning, actually, because I was too tired yesterday. I literally came home and sat in the chair just to relax for like 5 minutes. And I woke up and it was 4:45.
Yeah, I did not. My sister was at my mom's. So I was like in Charlie. So I was like, well, let me go over there and see the dog.
You didn't know they were going to be there?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, she told me because she said it was going to be a possibility that might be there.
Oh.
So I went over there, and then I didn't get back to my place till like 11.
No, fuck that.
Oh, there was a car chase.
What?
Yeah. So I'm going home, and so the Big Ridge.
Yeah.
That road. So is that like right by the skating rink?
There's always a fucking car chase over there.
Well, so it was the light after that. So it was like you go straight, you get to the middle school, you turn right, you head to like my place.
Yeah.
So I'm at the light and I'm getting ready to turn and you hear the cops. So all you see is this dude come flying and then two cops chasing him. Oh they God. Turn towards the middle school. So then I go since they're gone. Right. And then so I go on the interstate because the light over there takes a hot minute at like 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm just going to get on the interstate because it's faster. And here they come.
On the interstate?
He had made a full circle
U-turn.
And got on the interstate.
That is insane.
Yes.
And it's so dangerous. It's so I thought they weren't supposed to like...
Yeah, I called my sister and I was like, I don't know where they're going, but I'm like, there's a car chase.
I thought it was like after a mile they weren't allowed to anymore because it puts too many people at risk. I mean, even at that hour, there's still lots of traveling, especially on the interstate at 11 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah, because I called my sister and I was like, because she was heading home and I was like, I don't know which way like he's going to go. I'm like, he just got back on the interstate, but I was like, there's a car chase.
I don't think I saw anything about that this morning on Facebook. Although, to be fair, I haven't been on Facebook this morning.
I don't think I saw it this morning.
Yeah, I haven't been on Facebook this morning. I don't know. But I've got all my little crystals and stuff that I got yesterday set up.
Oh, with all the towers I gave you and the cat.
Mm-hmm. It's been a week. A very, very long week.
Doesn't help that your husband stresses you out.
All the time. I'm even more stressed because he put in for time off and they haven't approved it. So he had to move it. Like, he was supposed to be off the 30th and the 1st, but they've given him, like, another load. Mm-hmm. And he is on his way to Illinois right now. He's having to go through Kentucky. Well, he's in Kentucky, but he's having to go through Kentucky to Indiana to Illinois.
New, so they're going to do PTO for, like, the...
Well, he was supposed to put his time off. He's only supposed to work 12 days straight.
Oh, okay.
And then 2 off. So he was supposed to put his time off that he needed.
How many days has he worked so far?
Today's day 10, which would have been those 2 days where he came home.
So this might be his last load.
No, because they did not approve the 30th and the 1st, and they're supposed to put it in a week ahead of time, which he did. He put it in last Monday, and they didn't approve it. So he's trying to get home on the 4th and 5th, and by that time it'll be like 16 days or so that he's been out. And I mean, it's not super stressful. What's stressful to me is they have to figure out where they can park their truck safely. That's an approved parking spot, and you have to pay for those. $18 a day, and those fill up quick. So if I don't know when he's coming home, I can't reserve the parking.
Yeah.
I mean, it is refundable, but I don't know like how long that takes, because we've got this amount budgeted for the reserve parking for the 2 days. So It was just stressful. And he's ready to come home and eat real food. Welcome back, guys. Again. Hello. Hi. How's it going?
Hello.
Cool. Thanks. So this week I'm going to talk about Gary Allen Walker. He was born September 25th of 1953. So his birthday was 5 days ago. No, it wasn't. I'm lying. It was 3 days ago because it's only the 28th. Yes. Yeah. So he is a Libra. His parents are unidentified.
Huh?
So, yeah. Nowhere. I could not find his mom or his dad.
They said, we're not claiming
anywhere.
him. They're like, we're not claiming it.
So Walker is not his biological dad's last name. It's his stepdad's last name. The only person that they could identify was his stepfather.
Oh, okay.
The only person. His mom and his real dad were not identified. And I looked through so many sources, even court documents, and it did not provide any information.
Because they're like, we're not claiming him.
Well, I don't know, because his childhood was not great.
Yeah.
He did have a tragic childhood. There was significant physical and sexual abuse as a child. His stepfather's name was Otis Walker, who repeatedly beat him. He beat him, quote unquote, until I couldn't scream anymore. And this is what Gary Allen Walker stated in a deposition after he was caught for his crimes, and was going through trial. And during his trial, his aunt Leslie Cupp, she was called to the stand, and she testified that she had frequently observed bruises all over the boy's body when he was little. So why did she do anything? I don't know, because this was in the 50s.
That's true.
It was the 50s. And she stated that the bruises came from the stepfather's brutal beatings. Walker stated that while he and his stepfather were squirrel hunting one time, his stepfather turned to him and said, quote, "I wonder what they'd do if I just blew your fucking head off."
The hell?
This was a baby. He was a child. So, ran to his mom crying and told her what had happened. And of course, she didn't believe him. Later that day, when she told the stepfather what Gary had told her, he began beating the child mercilessly with a wooden board and eventually changed to a garden hose, beating him so badly between the legs that he almost ruptured his right testicle.
The hell?
So this kid had a very, very hard childhood. Very hard. The mother, even though she was married to the stepfather, did have multiple men coming in and out of the house when Walker was between the ages of 10 and 12. And at that age, that is when his mother became sexually active with him as well as his 10 and 12-year-old friends. It doesn't say if the mom brought the boyfriends in, involving them in that, or if it's just the mom and the young boy. So I'm not gonna say I can understand why he did what he did, but I can say that there's a little more understanding of why he turned out the way he turned out. And this, unfortunately, is what happens to a lot of the people who end up doing what this man does. So there's no help. Nobody wants to believe him, Walker did struggle academically and was referred to Children's Medical Hospital at the age of 13, where he stayed for 3 months, where he was diagnosed with a personality disorder and poor control over his impulses and emotions. The hospital did recommend that he be placed outside of the home, but his parents refused. So the hospital was like, hey, can you guys see if somebody will foster him?
Because living with y'all is not good for him.
But his parents were like, no, he can come home and be sexually abused and physically abused. It's fine. And I don't understand here.
Because the hospital could have...
I don't understand.
Could have called the cops.
Right. And I don't know, what CPS was like during that time, or if even it existed in the 50s, early 60s. I don't know. I didn't look it up. But there may be, there may not have been that option to kind of reach out for a child advocate like we have now.
Yeah.
So they were just do some cocaine about it and sent him home, At the age of 14, Walker was convicted of car theft, and that was his first official offense in the juvenile system. At the age of 16, he claimed he left home and joined the Army. He said that the Army had discharged him after only 2 months for reasons that he did not fully comprehend.
Did they say what the reasons were?
It doesn't say. It just said discharged. So it really didn't kind of... And so that age bracket, 16, you know, and you have to be 18 now. They're considered a minor. So a lot of these, like, files are sealed from when they were minors. So he moved in with his brother Wayne and another of their friends until Wayne rejoined the military. So it seems like him and his brother kind of joined. And he was discharged, but I guess maybe Wayne just kind of stepped back.
Yeah.
And then decided, hey, I want to go back. And he did, which kind of made it really difficult on Gary because he was by himself now, just him. During this time, Walker was unable to find work and resorted to theft to feed himself, which landed him in prison, unfortunately. And then he was sent to a state mental hospital because he was kind of crazy. By the age of 19, he was hospitalized in Eastern State Mental Hospital where he was diagnosed.
I think I covered that place.
Yeah. It is fucking fascinating. It's rough.
Yeah, I think that's one of my paranormal places.
Well, yours is Eastern Penn.
Oh.
But mental hospitals are rough no matter what because there is so much torture and inhumane treatments and stuff that happen, especially in the older days. And I'm sure probably still now that gets covered up because people are sick. But he was diagnosed with severe schizophrenic type disorder there. So, like, legitimately, he was crazy. He would go on to be hospitalized there 8 more times.
Why didn't they just keep him?
1960s of it?
They should have just kept him.
1970s? Like, I don't understand. Like,
they should have just kept him.
They should have just kept him because he goes on to kill quite a few people.
Yeah, they should have
quite a few people.
They should have just kept him.
Yes.
He would have saved everyone so much trouble.
It would have.
And just kept him.
A lot of these things that we cover, it's like Pazuzu.
Mm-hmm.
His mom could have reported him after the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They could have kept these other people that we've covered in the mental hospitals or in prison, and this would not have happened. Joseph Duncan, after he was arrested for those few incidents before that he should have been in jail for, he would have never have been able to go on and kill the amount of people, do the amount of abuse that he did to Shasta and her brother. There's just, I don't fucking know. I wish I had an answer. I really do, because what in the actual fuck? Yeah. But while there, he did receive antipsychotic medications and electroconvulsive shock treatments, which is a procedure done under general anesthesia. During the procedure, a small electrical current passes through the brain, intentionally causing a brief seizure. These treatments seem to change brain chemistry, and these changes can quickly improve symptoms of certain mental conditions. But I don't think he was a success story based on what he goes to do. He is on this podcast, so that should tell you something.
They did not work.
He was also diagnosed with bipolar disorder and treated with lithium. Now, lithium is very, very common for bipolarity, but it is like when absolutely nothing fucking else works. Lithium is what they use to dial back the crazy.
No.
But even though he was discharged with these medications, he refused to take them.
What?
His reasoning was, everybody called me crazy, but he didn't elaborate any further than that.
Because you were crazy.
Yeah.
You were crazy.
Yeah. But he didn't say, well, everybody called me crazy, so I'm just going to be crazy. His response to why did you not take the medications you were giving knowing you needed them was, everybody called me crazy, and that was the end of the conversation. He would not respond any further to that.
No, because you were crazy, dude.
Yeah. Fucking nuts. All right, so now we're going to start talking about the murders between May 7th and May 26th. Okay, 19 days.
Good Lord.
In 1984, Gary was 30 years old and had committed a total of 5 murders between Kentucky and Oklahoma. On May 7th of 1984, which is going to be the beginning of his crime spree, while he was hitchhiking in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Walker was approached by 63-year-old Eddie Cash, who gave him a ride to Owasso. Subsequently, Walker gained entry into Cash's home and decided to burglarize it. Cash had mentioned that he had lived in Broken Arrow, and this led to Walker's obtaining Cash's address through a directory assistance. So initially, Mr. Cash had given Walker a ride and dropped him off elsewhere.
Okay.
So when he was dropped off, he was told, like they introduced themselves upon meeting. So Walker remembered his name, got a phone book directory, looked up the dude's name, found his address after he had dropped him off. So, while Walker was making sure that no one was home by knocking on the door, he knocked, made sure he wasn't home. So he breaking and entering. He was inside the home. Cash had arrived back home in his car, prompting Walker to flee the scene. So no interaction at this point. He came home, didn't know anything was going on. Walker was like, oh, fuck, I gotta go, and left. Cash wasn't any wiser about it at this time. But Walker feared that Cash might contact the police, even though he wouldn't have known who it was. He wouldn't have known who it was. So instead of just running and hoping for the best, he decided to return to the front door with a brick. After Walter knocked on the door and Cash opened it, Walter struck him numerous times with the brick and also strangled him with the vacuum cleaner cord.
Dude, he wouldn't have known it was your ass.
Yeah, he wouldn't have known. So
what the hell?
Cash died as a result of his attack with multiple blunt force injuries to the head and ligature strangulation. His daughter, Priscilla Crane, was the one who discovered the body on the living room floor. Aww. A crime scene investigation revealed several lacerations on Mr. Cash's head and the vacuum cleaner cord tied tightly around his neck. And then there was a brick covered with blood found on the coffee table near the body. After the murder, Walter took several items from Cash's home, including the... Huh?
You said Walter.
Oh, After the murder, Walker took several items from Cash's home, including the victim's van and his shoes.
Why did he take his shoes?
This dude's crazy, like legitimately crazy.
Clearly.
That's all I've got for this one. He is like legitimately certified, documented, officially crazy. The van was later recovered by the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, but it doesn't say like where it was found. Mm-hmm. After the murder of Cash, 37-year-old Margaret Ann Bell Liddick became Walker's second victim. Liddick was abducted in Oklahoma before she was ultimately killed in Kentucky, making her the only one of Walker's victims to be killed outside of Oklahoma. Walker reportedly encountered Liddick in Porto, Oklahoma. He kidnapped, raped, and tortured her and left her naked body in Princeton, Kentucky, where it wasn't found until June 8th. So remember, this was May 7th. So her body was not found for a full month. 1 month and 1 day. On May 14th of 1984, Walker committed his third murder, killing 35-year-old Jane K. Hilburn. Walker reportedly strangled Hilburn, a grocery store clerk, near her house at Venta, Oklahoma. He stole her Camaro, which was found 2 weeks later near Keystone Lake. Hilburn's body was discovered by her daughter on the day of Hilburn's death. So he killed her at home, took her car, her kid found her. But it doesn't say like if she was like, she couldn't have been grown because Jane was only 35, so she probably would have been
young,
12, 15 maybe.
Yeah.
Or younger, God forbid, younger. On May 23rd of 1984, Walker's fourth murder took place in Beggs, Oklahoma. The victim in this case was 32-year-old Janet D. Jewell, who disappeared in the midst of job hunting. So this lady was out looking for a fucking job, trying to get money and better her life.
Wow.
Her car was found abandoned at a local shopping mall in Tulsa, Oklahoma. According to Walker's confession to the murder, he approached Jewel as she was trying to refuel and restart her car and pretended to offer his help to do so. So maybe her car broke down and she was just trying to get it jump back up. It says that Walker managed to restart the car and then kidnapped her, taking her to Beggs, where he raped and strangled her to death.
So did he only have that one dude?
Mm-hmm. He only killed the one man. The rest were females that he raped and strangled.
This man has problems.
Yeah. And then on May 24th, so 10 days later, 1984, 25-year-old Valerie Shaw Hartzell, a radio reporter, became Walker's fifth murder victim. Walker kidnapped her from a shopping mall parking lot in Tulsa and held her hostage for over 24 hours. He raped her numerous times and strangled her before dumping her body in a rural area near Claremore in Rogers County. So, yeah, one man, and he was only because he thought he was gonna be caught stealing.
Which he wasn't. Didn't know it was you.
Right. So, yeah, only one man and the other 4 victims were females. Those were mainly targets, I guess. Like the first guy was kind of, I'm not going to say accidental because it was a conscious choice, but
because he went back.
Had he not come home while he was thieving the place, he probably would not have died, in my opinion. God only knows. So this man was crazy. I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Merely days after he killed Valerie, through police investigations, Gary was linked to the disappearances and murders of the victims he had killed and was listed on the wanted list for the area. Okay. Walker was additionally named a suspect behind 2 missing persons cases by the Arkansas authorities and was also suspected to have kidnapped a woman and raped her in a motel in Oklahoma, though the victim in that particular case did survive. Well, she was not killed.
Well, that's good that she survived.
Yeah.
Trauma, but she survived.
Yeah, thankfully. Finally, Walker was arrested in Tulsa on June 2nd of 1984. He was thereafter charged with multiple counts of first-degree murder as well as rape and kidnapping and all the serial murders and other crimes linked to him. Additionally, Walker also led police to the locations of where he disposed of the bodies of 2 of his victims, Janet and Valerie. The murders were committed across a total of 4 counties in the state, namely Tulsa, Rogers, Craig, and Okmulgee. Sorry, Oklahoma, if I'm mispronouncing that. You have some weird names, but it's okay. The prosecution from these jurisdictions announced their intent to seek the death penalty for Walker. Under Oklahoma state law, an offense of first-degree murder attracts a potential sentence of death or life imprisonment, so they were pretty much all but guaranteed the death sentence or life imprisonment for that. What am I recording?
It's Sunday, dude. What do you think?
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
I think you're fucked up.
You shut the fuck up.
Such love.
You should be working right now, you lazy something.
You called her and interrupted our work, sir.
I didn't know she was doing it.
It's Sunday. What else would we be doing?
What day it is.
Yeah, he doesn't know what day it is. Courtney brought your waffle maker and your sandwich panini
and here
press.
I was nice and brought you shit.
And she's nice and brought you shit, and you're like, fuck you, get to work, bitch. And Courtney even brought Misha a baby.
Shit, I bought her the shit to give a break.
She didn't buy it. She's bringing it for free. Go on, go lay down with your baby. Go on, come here, Mish. Ready? Go get him. Go get that baby. And she even shared half of her donut stick.
Hi, me. That's hard,
Hi, me. That's the only way to get Misha to like you is to feed her and bring her stuff.
Yes.
I'm surprised he didn't call me this morning. Because he usually calls me like first thing in the morning when he gets up and he knows that I'm up. But he was already like on the road.
Yeah.
And they're not allowed to be on their phones while they're on the road. So, which is probably the best.
Yeah.
So, now to his trial and his sentencing. On June 6th of 1984, a Tulsa County Public Defender, Pete Silva, was appointed to represent Walker. He counseled Walker for approximately only 1 hour and a half, on June 6th, and only 2 hours on the 7th. So in total, his attorney counseled him for 2.5 hours.
His counsel's probably like
3.5 hours.
No.
So this man, normally in court situations, the attorney is going to counsel you for like weeks.
Yeah.
Months sometimes.
He apparently could only handle
3.5 hours.
He apparently could only handle 3.5 hours with that man.
Mr. Silva testified that he informed Walker that he would be present at any future interviews with authorities and that Walker would be warned of any attempts to move him from where he was arrested to like a different county, a different state. Well, not different state because everything happened in Oklahoma, but out of the jurisdiction where he was, because a lot of the time that happens when it's a high profile case. The media, kind of portrays everything. And then there are people in those cities who have a vested interests because it's people they know, people that their friends know, family, etc. So it's kind of difficult for them to get a really unbiased jury in those counties where these murders took place. But so his attorney was like, hey, if they decide to move you out of this jurisdiction, I will definitely let you know. Mr. Silva also testified that he had made an arrangement with Mr. Gilliard, the assistant director attorney in Tulsa County, to the effect that Walker would have counsel present before any further questioning. On June 7th, Mr. Silva represented Walker in an arraignment in Tulsa County on information alleging 3 counts of first-degree murder. One of these was for the murder of Mrs. Hartzell. Shortly after the arraignment, after he had been taken back to the Tulsa County Jail, Walker was informed by the authorities that he was going to be moved to Rogers County. At that time, Walker asked to see his attorney. An attempt was made to call Mr. Silva, but he could not be located. Walker was then moved to Rogers County without having been afforded the opportunity to speak with his attorney. So, his attorney said, bro.
His attorney said, I'm done.
His attorney said, bro, I will be there for any questioning. I will let you know if you're being moved. I'm there for you, my guy. Okay. So the police were like, hey, you're being moved after you got arraigned. And he's like, wait a minute, I need my attorney. And the attorney's like, LOL.
Bye.
Poof, disappeared. Okay. On the morning of June 8th, 1984, Walker was taken to the Rogers County Sheriff's Office where video equipment was already set up. He was advised of his Miranda rights and did not request that his lawyer be present.
Because he figured he ain't coming.
Yeah. I was like, what's the point? He did sign a waiver to that effect, stating that I do not need my attorney. I did receive my Miranda rights, because these are major things that could completely invalidate court proceedings. Mm-hmm. If someone was not read their Miranda rights, that case could be thrown out entirely. So it's very important that they A, read them, and B, get confirmation that they were read and understood. So Walker was then asked questions concerning the murder of Mrs. Hartzell. He responded by giving a full and complete confession. His confession was recorded on videotape and was subsequently shown to the jury. So,
well,
that's evidence right there.
That.
Walker objected to the admission of both confessions at trial. However, the trial court found that both confessions were made knowingly and voluntarily, and thus it overruled Walker's objections.
He said, I didn't do that.
Yeah, so he's like, I didn't do that. That wasn't me. I was coerced. I was bullied. I was whatevered into making these false confessions. And because he signed the written documents and they video recorded everything, he had no leg to stand on.
Exactly.
No leg to stand on. So, in addition to several assignments of error raised by Walker in his appeal, he alleges that his objections to the admission of the confession should not have been overruled, and that the trial's court decisions allowed the jury to consider them constituted fundamental errors. So
what?
He's basically saying that there were other missteps during trial from the prosecuting side and possibly the defense. Whether or not his attorney showed up, it didn't really specify.
Probably not.
But that he is basically saying that there were a lot of missteps during his trial that were not or should not have been admitted or admissible, and that his alleged objections to the confessions, the jury should have been notified of this, but they were overturned, so they couldn't even bring it up to the jury. So he's just grasping at straws. In July of 1984, Gary Walker was ordered to stand his first trial in Tulsa County for the murder of Eddie Cash. Although the defense submitted a request to change the trial location to another county on the grounds of publicity, so like I was saying earlier, a lot of the time when it's a very popular person or it's a well-known story, they change counties simply because of the vested interest of the people that are in that particular county where the murder took place. And they know these people, they know they're not going to get a fair trial because they're not going to get an unbiased jury. So they decided to change the location and started selecting a jury, and the jury selection concluded on November 7th of 1984, and his trial began that same month. During the trial itself, the defense put up the insanity defense and submitted evidence of the troubled childhood which Walker had been accustomed to before he committed the murders. Dr. Thomas Goodman, a psychiatrist, testified at his trial supporting Walker's insanity defense. Dr. Goodman had reviewed Walker's medical records and conducted several examinations on his own, including one under the influence of sodium amytal.
What is that?
I don't know. Let me look it up. I didn't look that up, and I meant to, but I was having a stressful week. Oh, please.
Google.
Amobarbital. It is a barbiturate drug that affects a central nervous system depressant. Historically used as a sedative and for psychiatric interviews. Primarily now used in hospital settings due to its high potential for abuse and dependence. It's what they quote unquote it's what they called quote unquote truth serum.
Oh.
Because it can induce a hypnotic relaxed state, which kind of makes you tell the truth or makes you less guarded and defensible. So they kind of, like you're relaxed and easygoing and like weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So Dr. Goodman opined that although Walker probably knew right from wrong at the time of the killing, his perception of the victim was so distorted that he believed he was killing his stepfather. So I don't understand that one. Now, maybe with Mr. Cash, but not with the other 4 victims. No. Dr. Goodman also testified that Walker did not believe killing his stepfather was wrong, which, kind of there with him.
I mean,
after all he did.
Yeah.
The prosecution, however, rebutted that Walker...
Wait, maybe the girls were his mom.
It never says, but possibly. Very possibly. The prosecution, however, rebutted that Walker was able to methodically seek the address of Cash, burglarize his home, and even killed Cash with the purpose of silencing him as a possible witness to his burglary attempt. So, forethought and malice, which is...
Yeah. Because the dude literally went back.
Yeah, he went back.
Like, you could have got away with that one.
He searched for the address because he knew his name.
Yeah.
That was premeditated, forethought with malice.
Yes.
Exactly. On November 13th, 1984, the jury found Walker guilty of his first-degree murder of Mr. Cash. The very next day, the jury unanimously recommended that Walker be sentenced to death for the murder of Mr. Cash. On November 26th of 1984, the trial judge, District Judge Joe Jennings, say that 3 times fast, sentenced the then 31-year-old Gary Allen Walker to death during a formal sentencing hearing. An execution date of February 6th of 1985 was set for Walker, but on December 6, 1984, the execution was stayed pending an automatic review by the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals, which happens with every single death sentence.
Why?
It's automatic. Anytime someone is subjected to the death sentence, an appeal is automatically rendered. Period, point blank. Every state, every person, they automatically get an appeal. No matter what. Period.
That's stupid.
Every time. Every time. So, for the Shaw Hartzell murder, Walker's second murder trial for the death of Valerie Shaw Hartzell was conducted May of 1985, with jury selection commencing the same month. At the end of his second murder trial, Walker was convinced of both kidnapping and first-degree murder, and Rogers County District Judge Edwin Cardin. Why do these names rhyme?
They really do.
All of these names rhyme. Sentenced him to death upon the jury's recommendation for capital punishment, marking Walker's second death sentence for the serial killings. As for the other 3 murders, Walker was similarly ordered to stand trial for these cases. For the murders of Janet Jewell and Jane Hilburn, Walker was convicted in the Oklahoma courts and sentenced to life in prison for both homicides. He did not receive the death sentence for those 2.
What?
I don't know. In August of 1986, Walker was brought to trial in a Kentucky state court for murdering Margaret Bell Liddick. Remember, she was the only one that he brought over state lines. He reached a plea agreement with the prosecution, who decided to take the death penalty off the table on account of Walker's prior 2 death sentences for killing both Shaw, Hartzell, and Cash. Walker was sentenced to life imprisonment plus 20 years for kidnapping, rape, and murder by the Caldwell Circuit Judge Willard Paxton. Hey, that one doesn't rhyme.
That one actually makes sense.
Yeah. In total, Walker received a total of 2 death sentences, 6 life sentences, and 700 years in jail for all 5 murders he committed, including the lesser charges pertaining to these serial murders. So let that sink in. 2 death sentences, 6 life sentences, and then 700 years in jail.
At that point, they should have stuck with the death sentence because he's going to die anyway.
He's going to die anyway. So he did submit like a series of appeals on July. Oh, of course he did. And except for like the automatic appeals, he submitted his own appeals. On July 22nd of 1986, the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals dismissed Gary Walker's direct appeal of his death sentence for the murder of Cash. So they said, no.
No.
On December 1st of 1986, the U.S. Supreme Court rejected Walker's appeal of his death sentence for Cash's murder. So the criminal appeals declined it. So they sent it to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court declined it. Oh. So it's like a step down.
Okay.
So they went like second highest and then to the highest, because if the Supreme Court upheld it, or not upheld it, because if they upheld it, this is what they're doing, they're upholding the appeal.
Okay.
Or they're upholding the sentence. So if they rejected it and said, yeah, we're going to relook at this, but Oklahoma court said, no, we're not, but the Supreme Court said, yes, we are, they go with what the Supreme Court says, because they are over Oklahoma. The Supreme Court's over everybody.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma said no.
Okay.
Supreme Court said fuck no. But if Supreme Court had been like, yeah, there's shit going on here, they would have had to he would have had a retrial, or they would have looked at the sentencing and they would have decided it was too harsh.
Yeah.
Or whatever the situation was. No. But if they were like, this is too harsh, this is too many years in prison, this doesn't, the punishment doesn't fit the crime kind of thing, or there wasn't enough evidence to justify this type of sentencing, they would repeal it and it would be relooked at, and either they would issue a mistrial and order anew, or they would just reduce the sentencing to something more fitting. But both of them said no.
No.
Yeah. So then,
no,
he was upheld for the sentencing and the decision for death for Cash's murder.
Okay.
So then he decided to appeal for the Valerie Shaw Hartzell murder. On July 2nd of 1990, the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals heard a separate appeal of Walker of his second death sentence for the murder of Valerie Shaw Hartzell. The court allowed the appeal and overturned both the death sentence and the murder conviction and ordered that Walker be retried for killing Shaw Hartzell.
What?
So again,
what?
The second appeal, they're like, okay, there either wasn't enough evidence, or the evidence didn't match up, or there was some extenuating circumstance that told them the crime and the punishment do not fit each other. It doesn't explain why. It just says there's just something through the appeal, the way the case was handled, the way the attorneys were, they missed a step, anything. It could be literally anything, which is why it is automatically sent to the appeal process. Automatically. So this one, it was overturned. So
no.
He was eventually retried for the case in 1991, but instead he took a plea deal, pleading guilty to the killing. He pled guilty.
Bruh, you're dying anyway. Just
But instead of getting the death sentence again, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole and avoided a second death sentence.
He's dying anyway from freaking
But he
cat.
remained on death row from the murder of Cash.
That man's dumb.
Yeah, I don't... Whatever.
That whole thing was dumb.
I don't understand. While Walker's appeals against his one remaining death sentence were still ongoing, Oklahoma Attorney General Susan B. Loving petitioned to the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals in March of 1993 to set an execution date for Walker and 5 other inmates, including child rapist killer Richard Rowan. Walker was originally set to be executed September 17th of 1993, but it was postponed, unfortunately, due to his ongoing appeals. On May 23rd of 1997, the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals rejected another appeal from Walker regarding Cash. On February 22nd of 1999, the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals turned down Walker's appeal for the murder of Cash. On November 8th of 1999, Walker's final appeal was denied by the U.S. Supreme Court, thus officiating Walker's eligibility for an execution date. Hallelujah. So he tried 4 different times to appeal the death sentence for Cash, which is the only one he managed to get death sentence on.
Fuck no.
Yep. So on November 23rd of 1999,
I was 3. Wait, I was 3. 6, 7. No, I was 4.
Yeah. On November 23rd of 1999,
three.
You would have just turned 3.
Yeah, I just turned 3.
Yeah. On November 23rd of 1999, the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals signed a death warrant for Gary Walker and scheduled his execution for January 13th of 2000. During his last media interview, Walker described himself as quote-unquote old and tired.
What?
And said he planned to wait for his execution time to come.
Well, you would have had it sooner
if you had choice.
You would have had it sooner if you hadn't fucking appealed it 5 goddamn times, motherfucker.
Yeah, because he was sentenced in 84.
Yeah, you would have been dead sooner.
And he appealed until 1999. So his final appeal in November of 99 was it. And so they set his execution for 2000, like just 2 months later in January. He also stated that he believed if he was not executed, he would have 5 years left to live due to a heart condition for which he had been hospitalized for 4 times already.
See, you would have been hospitalized. You'd be dead already.
Yeah. So on January 13th of 2000, 46-year-old Gary Allen Walker was put to death by lethal injection at the Oklahoma State Penitentiary. Prior to his execution, Walker reportedly apologized to the families for the people he killed and sought forgiveness. He was pronounced dead at 12:20 a.m. after the drugs were administered to him. For his last meal, Walker ate 3 whole cheeseburgers with extra salt.
He was like, I'm going out with a bang.
3 sliced tomatoes. So I don't know if they mean like 3 slices of tomatoes or 3 whole tomatoes just sliced with salt. I don't know. It doesn't specify. French fries and a strawberry malt. He also received his final prison visits from 2 of his sisters, 1 of his nieces, and 2 of his cousins. More than 30 members of Walker's 5 murder victims gathered at the prison to watch his execution. Which, I get it.
At the same time, I
also think it's sick. Like, in my opinion, I just think it's sick. I mean, and if that is what you need for closure, for justice, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I feel like I firmly believe in you don't know what you would do until you're put in that situation. And I would like to think that I probably wouldn't want to watch another human die. But if one of them hurt my kids, I would probably want to be the one pushing the needle, to be fair.
He wouldn't even make it.
They probably wouldn't make it to trial. But we're not going to talk about that because, that's probably illegal.
Yeah. So I have Mary Creighton. A woman once dubbed by the press as the Long Island Borgia and the Black Eye Borgia.
Long Island. Have you ever watched the Long Island Medium? Teresa Caputo.
I feel like I am.
She's got the big hair.
Oh, yeah.
And such like the Long Island accent.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love her. She trips me out. She's fucking adorable.
So Mary was born on July 29th, 1899. She was a Leo in Rahway, New Jersey.
Oh.
I said that wrong. I'm sorry. Mary Frances Avery. And she faced early tragedy when she lost both her parents and was raised by her grandparents with her siblings.
Oh.
She was described as a quiet, withdrawn child, and she eventually moved to Newark at age 15, where she later met and married John Creighton, a World War I sailor, on Christmas Day, 1918.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Only you don't have to remember like one special day because it's the same day.
Yeah. So Mary was a matron. What the hell did I write?
I don't know.
Matronelly. Matronly. I don't know. I don't know.
So a matron.
Matronly. Matronly. Yeah, we'll go with that word. Okay.
Matronly? Okay.
Yeah. Woman. She was orderly in appearance and careful of her language in mixed company, but she had a bad temper and did not get along with her in-laws. She hated them.
Okay.
She said, fuck y'all.
I mean, was there a reason?
No, she just because, well, her and her mother-in-law pretty much argued over stuff for the house.
Their house.
Because they lived with his parents.
Then it's their parents' house, so you don't argue. That's their shit.
Yeah, so that's why she get along with her mother-in-law, because they would argue over what to do with the house. But it's like
their house.
That's their house. Okay.
In
1918, they welcomed their daughter Ruth. The couple lived with his parents, and tension quickly grew between Mary and her in-laws, especially her mother-in-law Anna. So Anna and Walter is his parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then her younger brother, Raymond, also came to live with them in an already small space.
Her younger brother?
Her younger brother.
Okay. Well, I mean, they don't have
parents
of their own.
So she had... It didn't say how many siblings she had.
Mm-hmm.
It just says she had a younger brother and then 2 sisters. Which she stopped talking to her sisters because of inheritance issues.
Okay.
And that's all they said.
Okay. So, I mean, they're... potentially 4 total siblings.
Potentially 4. And that tension turned deadly.
It always does.
Yes. So between 1920 and 1923, Anna and Walter Creighton and Mary's younger brother Raymond all died under suspicious circumstances.
Oh, wow. What?
Yeah, they all got sick. And although Mary and her husband were tried for her brother's death, they were acquitted due to lack of evidence. And toxicology at the time was still developing, and although traces of arsenic were detected, it wasn't enough to convict.
Okay. I would feel like if arsenic was in your system at all, it would be enough.
Yeah, because they found some in her brother. They pretty much found some in all of them.
Yeah, I would feel like if you found arsenic in anybody, that would be enough.
But because there wasn't enough evidence.
Whatever.
Yeah. And in the meantime, the police also learned that Walter's beloved white bulldog had disappeared several months prior to the trial, and they soon discovered that dog had died and was buried in the backyard. So they're like, "Oh, let's maybe the dog was poisoned." Yeah, they didn't find anything in the dog.
So was the dog poisoned, or did it?
They couldn't find any poison in the dog,
but it's probably likely that she killed it.
But they were probably thinking she killed it, and the poison was just.
I hope she's burning in hell right now.
Yes. And so, amid the cloud of suspicion and with everything going on, the family moved to Baldwin, Long Island, hoping for a fresh start. And there they became close neighbors to Everett and Ada Applegate and their daughter Agnes. And then
Adam, Ada, and Agnes.
Everett, Agnes. Everett, Ada, Agnes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a lot of Ada.
Yes. So Ada was a very large woman who pretty much stayed in bed all day.
Okay.
And she always yelled at Everett. So they were not a happy marriage.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And so he enjoyed Mary's company.
I bet he did.
And it eventually became something else.
Of course it did.
So in January 1935, Mary had sex with Everett.
Oh.
And he told her he loved her and she believed it. And over the next 6 months, they maintained a sexual relationship in the household. And apparently her husband had no idea.
In her house?
Everett, Ada, and Agnes lived with Ada's parents. And Everett had the same issue, didn't get along with the in-laws. And because Ada pretty much argued with him all the time. So him and John were at some club, they're in some club together. So Everett it's like some
No, I get that, but like he is boinking this man's wife, and they're still going to like a gentleman's club or like a smokers club or whatever together.
Yeah, because they were both in the army, so it's like an army club kind of.
Okay.
Everett was like going around saying, "Hey, like, does anyone have like a place to live?" And John's like, "Well, you could come live with us." And then this happened. Yeah, this happened. But John apparently had no idea any of this was going on.
I mean, if he works all the time, if he's in the military, you know, they're gone like a lot of the day.
Yeah.
But then the other guys should be gone a lot of the day also. I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they were. I think at this point I think it said they were out of the army and they were just doing like other. They had like some other job.
Okay.
So Mary's daughter at this time was 14, and she was unusually pretty girl.
Unusually pretty.
Yes.
Okay.
Which the police even said they were like, she looked like she was well developed.
Ew.
Yeah. So they were like, so they can see why Everett was like. Yeah. Okay. So hold on.
Okay. I don't like where this is going.
So Mary did start to notice the excessive amount of attention that Everett was giving her 14-year-old daughter.
Gross.
He took her to school,
Gross.
picked her up,
Gross.
drove her to the stores,
Gross.
and seemed too eager to be her friend.
Gross.
And when Mary brought up the subject, he laughed and said he loved only her and someday they would be together.
Gross.
And this uneasy situation continued into the summer of 1935.
A situation that she willingly participated in because she decided to stray outside of her marriage and invite this man into her home.
Yes.
Consequences of her actions.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking bullshit.
And like neighbors would see Everett and Ruth kissing in the backyard.
Ew. She's 14.
Yes. And he was 38. Yes.
Gross.
And June of 1935 was when Everett and Ruth had sex for the first time. Oh my God. By July that same year, he told Mary, and this is his quote, "I became very fond of the daughter of the Creightons. It caused me to do things that were unnatural to my desires. In close contact with her and showing her affection and the same being returned, I had a desire for a closer relationship with this girl."
No, he liked the fact that she was 14
and she was giving him attention.
Had barely hit puberty, easily controlled and manipulated. You have nothing in common with the 14-year-old. You're a fucking pedophile. Mm-hmm. Period.
Mm-hmm. And Mary's resentment grew, felt betrayed by Everett, and shamed by the actions of her promiscuous daughter.
Gross.
Seen to the public as a failed mother.
No, do not fucking victim blame. That 14-year-old is a goddamn victim. I don't give a fuck if she was walking around in front of him naked saying anything inappropriate. That was a child. That is a grown man. The only person that is responsible is the adult. Mm-hmm. The only one.
And of course, John apparently knew nothing of anything that was going on in his house.
Where does he live there?
I have no idea, because every time they interviewed him,
is he blind? Did he walk around with like
he apparently
a sleep
had
mask?
No idea, because they like when his parents died and everything, they asked him like, "Do you think your wife did this?" "No, my wife would never." I think he's dumb because he didn't know nothing.
What the? She must have like beer flavored titties or something for him to be so seduced by her to where he can't see that she's fucking around on him. The dude she's fucking around on him with is now fucking their child. Yeah, that's 14. Uh-huh. Okay.
Uh-huh. So the final murder.
Please tell me it was him.
No.
Fuck.
So she brought it up to Everett's wife, like, "Hey, like he's fucking my daughter," and she's like, "I don't care."
What? Okay.
So that's this. So yeah. So she met Everett. So Mary made Everett part of the plan.
They killed his wife
when she made him drive her to the store. Well, he had no idea what she was doing.
But that was her plan. It was to kill his wife because the wife didn't care.
She was more mad about the wife,
even though
not
he
caring.
was the one having sex with her daughter. Yes. What?
Yes. So she figured if she can make him an accomplice and all this shit,
just kill him.
Yeah, no, she didn't do that. So
you're saying these men are stupid, but all I'm hearing is that women are fucking stupid.
Everyone's stupid in this one.
Everyone is stupid.
Everyone is stupid in this story. So Friday the 13th of September.
No! Not Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Mary gave Ada her first dose of arsenic in a cup of coffee.
Always the coffee.
Always the coffee. She always gave it in coffee or tea or milk. Or, yeah. Well, the final dose was an eggnog. So,
ooh, I love eggnog. Oh, and it's eggnog season. Yay.
She only gave her a small dose at first, waited 2 days, and then when Ada was saying, "Oh, I don't feel good," like she was like,
Cool. Let me give you some more tea.
Yeah. So she's like, then you gave her a generous second helping of the poison because she wasn't throwing up yet, so she started to increase the amount and the frequency of the doses. So then later in September of 1935, she became really sick, vomited yellow-green bile, and had continuous diarrhea. She was unable to really get out of bed at that point.
Yeah.
So Everett called a doctor and had them come to the house, and Ada was then taken to the hospital. Like, he was he had no idea what was going on. Like, he was like concerned.
He was actually concerned about her.
Yeah, he's like, because he still loved his wife, even though they argued and shit and all this shit.
He cared. I wouldn't say loved. He cared about her.
Yeah, he still cared about her. And then several days later, so they couldn't find anything wrong with her. So they're like, okay, you can go home.
Right.
So then several days later, she died at home.
That's how it usually goes. That's what happened with all the arsenic poisoners that I've covered.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Mm-hmm. So suspicion reignited not long after her death when an anonymous tip.
A what?
Anonymous tip,
there you go,
along with old newspaper clippings from Mary's 1923 trial, was sent to authorities.
Oh, I wonder who did that.
And it never said.
Really?
Yeah, it never said.
Oh, I thought we were going to get like a surprise. It was her husband or something.
No, it never said. But at this point, I'm like, I wonder if he actually knew and was just like
playing dumb, so he didn't.
Because it could have been Agnes too. Everett's daughter.
Yeah.
But it never said who it was. And so they did an autopsy.
How old was she?
She was only a year younger than Ruth.
Okay.
Yes.
What? This man was having sex with a child who was his daughter's age.
Yes. Well, so it also said that, which I apparently didn't write in here, but it also said that Ruth would, like, when she would go to school, she dressed in, like, she pretty much showed leg and, like, everything that was, like, too much for that time.
Okay.
And, like, she pretty much flaunted her body. And knew what she was doing.
She's 14. He's 38.
Yes.
There is no excuse. Clothes are not a welcome for men's attention, physically or otherwise.
But they made sure to put that in the thingy.
I'm sure they did. They always victim blame the women. Always. Mm-hmm. What were you wearing? What were you doing? It doesn't fucking matter. She could have been naked telling him to come have sex with her, and she's still 14. She is still 14 years old. She is still a fucking child. It does not matter.
So an autopsy of Ada was revealed. Arsenic poisoning. Are you good? And you hit your shoulder?
No, I went to put my arm down and my shoulder went.
Oh,
it hurt so bad. That's why I was like, oh God, you can keep talking. I was over here dying.
And then, so Mary Frances Creighton was arrested once more.
Okay. Well, I think I would have been okay, like, if her last murder was Everett. I would have been way okay with that. Ada didn't do nothing.
Yeah, no.
She was just like,
she said, no, I'm not. She's like, yeah, I'm killing the wife. So when they arrested her, of course, she changed her confession several times. First, she implicated Everett. Second confession, she exonerated him.
What?
And then in the third confession, she said it was his idea all along.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she tried to blame Everett for everything, and yeah. And so while she's in jail, she kept getting threatening letters.
Good.
By January of 1936, the New York City tabloids were calling her Borgia after Lucrezia Borgia, the Italian prima donna of the notorious Borgia family of 16th century Florence.
We've talked about her already because that was the other one. One of the ones that I did. She was called the Borgia of Mayhem. Mm-hmm. Yep. I guess that Lucrezia, whatever, she's like real fucking popular.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was what'd she do?
She poisoned husbands.
Yeah, she poisoned husbands and would have sex with her brother.
She was what is her name? The Lannister queen or whatever the fuck she is. Cersei.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was Cersei.
Yeah. And then Everett, because they arrested Everett too, but he was more being attacked because of his sexual union with Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah, which people saw as a child abuse committed by a predatory sex fiend.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. At least the fucking community was like, no.
Yeah, so he was more being attacked because of that. And then...
As he should be.
So on the third day of the trial, Everett Applegate took the stand in his own defense. And he was a small, round-faced man with an air of casual confidence as he made his way to the witness chair.
Small, round-faced man.
Yes, that's what it's.
Was he like overweight? Because round face usually means like not fit.
It never said what he looked like. The wife was obese, but it didn't say he was.
Well, I'm gonna say probably with round face.
I don't know. And his attorney, Charles R. Weeks, believed that if the jury could see Applegate up close, see him as a person, they might find it easier to believe in his innocence. For like,
I mean, yeah, he was innocent as far as the wife was concerned.
Because that's what he was like. Because he's like, he's innocent of killing his wife.
Yeah.
But what unfolded in the courtroom would prove to be a critical.
Over there?
Because I'm stretching my arm.
She's like, courtroom.
I needed to pop my shoulder. Would prove to be a critical miscalculation. Oh, my elbow. I need to pop my elbow, not my shoulder. Okay.
Oh. Did it pop?
And yeah, it did.
Okay.
Applegate's behavior on the stand shifted constantly, angry one moment, overly confident the next, and then suddenly remorseful or evasive. His answers were inconsistent and at times unnerving. And then rather than gaining the jury's sympathy, he seemed to push them further away with each passing moment.
Okay.
And surprisingly, the most damaging questions didn't come from the prosecution, but from his own defense team.
Okay.
And in a bold effort
to... Oh, wait a minute. The prosecution was not the one asking the damaging questions. It was his own defense team.
Yes, because apparently do they know
what side they're on?
I don't know.
Okay. I was just making sure.
They're like asking. So like apparently they kept asking questions. They were asking questions that were like fucking him up in the end. Yeah,
like I was making sure I heard that right. Like it went through my brain, and then like obviously you saw it took a couple of seconds for it to register. Then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in a bold effort to save his client from the death penalty, Weeks decided to focus on Applegate's relationship with Ruth.
Same thing.
Yeah. He believed that by confronting the issue directly, the jury might be more willing to convict Applegate on a lesser charge rather than for murder. Okay. But the gamble failed.
Oh, no.
He denied that he had anything to do with the murder of his huge wife.
What? Rude.
Yes.
Who said that?
Everett. Yeah.
Okay.
He denied that he ever had sex with Mary.
Oh, well, that's bullshit.
Which I mean, I can honestly believe that because she says a lot of shit. And I think she was more hurt because I think that part she made up because she was more hurt that he was going after her child.
So she was like throwing herself at him, and it's kind of like there was no proof that they were actually in any kind of relationship, which would be why the husband never fucking noticed anything. And she just made it all up. Okay.
But he freely admitted to having sex with Ruth.
Okay.
And at one point, prosecutor Littleton held up a photograph.
No, Lord.
All right, and these are some quotes.
Okay.
We have a picture of you, your wife, and Ruth all in the same bed nude.
What?
Is that correct? He asked. Applegate didn't flinch. That's correct.
So him, Ada, and Ruth were all in bed naked?
Yep.
So that's why Ada didn't care.
Yep.
Because she was also being...
Yep.
Oh, my fucking God. I am glad she's dead.
Yep.
I felt bad for her a little bit, but I don't feel bad anymore.
No.
Okay.
So you're asking the jury to believe that nothing inappropriate occurred in that situation? Littleton continued. Yes, Applegate said. It's the truth. But the jury didn't believe him.
the fucking same.
So point by point, every detail of his sexual conquests were explored. He was forced to describe his sex games.
I don't want to.
With Ruth.
No, thank you.
Even as her mother worked in the kitchen and Ada snored in bed just a few feet away. And so by the time he stepped down from the witness stand, the jury's opinion of him has shifted completely. And so had the public's.
I would say, yeah. I mean, I felt like he was a piece of shit from the beginning, you know, but
yeah.
What the fuck?
And so as Applegate was escorted down the courthouse hallway back to his cell, an angry crowd gathered. Shouts rang out. Officers struggled to maintain order. And at one point, members of the crowd broke through and were able to punch him before he was rushed away to safely.
Good. If I were the officer, I would like sneeze or something, like a very long sneeze. Or, oh no, my shoe's untied, and just reach down and just give him a couple minutes.
Yeah. So January 29th, Judge Cortland A. Johnson sentenced both of them to die in the electric chair during the week of March 9th. My leg itched. When the date came, which it got pushed to July 16th, 1936, Mary was in a state of physical collapse. She had suffered what was called hysterical paralysis and was reportedly unconscious when she was placed in the electric chair. So she was electrocuted, and then Everett was brought in like a few minutes later and was electrocuted right after.
I mean, I don't think he killed his wife, but I don't.
So,
I'm not sad about his outcome.
No. So on the day she was dying, she asked to be baptized as a Catholic. She decided because she thought it would be easier for her to face death.
Day late, dollar short.
Yes.
You don't get to just decide, like, okay, so you all know I'm not religious at all, but you don't just get to decide to eventually, at the very last moment, believe in something and have your soul saved if that's what you believe in. That's not how that works. Like, for Christianity, there is repentance, there is remorse, there are Hail Marys, there are numerous steps that have to be gone through. You have to accept Jesus into your life, whatever. You can't just be like, oh, I believe now and I'm saved. It doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
And it's crazy. A lot of people find Jesus in jail. Like, is that where he lives? Is that where Jesus is right now? Is he in jail?
So Mary Frances Creighton remains one of the few women in American history executed by electric chair. And then her story was later featured on the TV series Deadly Women in an episode titled Matriarchs of Murder.
I don't like this one. Like, my body is hot right now.
That's it on Mary.
Yeah. I don't like it. My body's hot right now.
Bro, you think I was reading it? I was like, what the fuck was going on?
Is that the crazy one you were telling me about?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. Because I was I'm like doing it. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That is insane. Like, because it starts out like, oh, she's murdering people. And then it's like, oh, her daughter is being molested. And she's mad because the dude's not having sex with her instead.
Pretty much.
Doesn't even care that the kid's being abused.
Nope. And was more mad about the fact that the other dude's wife didn't give a shit.
I hope she was okay, Ruth. I hope she was okay after that.
It didn't say how she was.
It usually doesn't, and it's been so long ago.
I lost my paperclip again.
I know.
I don't know where it went.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't like it. It's not as bad as some of the other ones have been. Like, that one I can like recover from. It's going to be in my head for a little bit just because it's crazy, but not what I was. That was a wild ride. That was not what I was expecting. That ending
was crazy.
Yeah, that ending was not what I was expecting. So, like, she wasn't ever tried for the other murders, just that one. Just that one.
Because they tried her for those, but they couldn't.
But
yeah, but they couldn't find evidence. But because she put too much in Ada, they were able to find it. And that's because that one was like right away, so they're able to see how much arsenic was in her.
Right. Wow. Okay. Well, that was a wild ride.
Yes.
That is always, you guys can find us on Facebook. Facebook.com/haunted and homicidal. Please feel free to join our Patreon. We still don't have anybody on there yet.
And we have goodies, people.
We have goodies. Like we've decorated, or I designed a shirt, and Courtney's people have brought that shirt to life.
Yes.
So make sure you thank them for me profusely.
I will.
And we have a Tumblr in the works and possibly some like personalized keychains, lanyards. I don't know yet. We're just kind of playing with stuff, but guys, come on, join the Patreon, and we'll have like merch available eventually, but Patreon users get early access. They can get entered into free drawings that they can get their own shit for free. You don't have to pay for it. So like, come on now. You guys
who doesn't like free shit?
Right. Who doesn't like free shit? So that's going to be patreon.com/haunted and homicidal. Also, you can send us stories, suggestions, anything like that to hauntedandhomicidal@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys. Again, thank you so much for the support. We are at almost 100 listeners.
Woohoo!
The other day it was 93.
Woo woo!
I haven't checked it since. But 100 is, wow, it's crazy. So we definitely thank you guys for your support. Share far and wide. We do have quite a few overseas listeners. Mm-hmm. It was interesting to see that we had like overseas listeners. That's great. I mean, they're probably like, I don't know, really cool people, hopefully, because they're over there, like not even here in America, and they're like, fuck yeah, we're gonna listen to this shit. We love it. We love it all. So thank you guys for your support and love. We really do appreciate it. We enjoy this. Mm-hmm. This is like a job on top of a job that we're not getting paid for. The research is insane.
Yes.
Working and then having all of our other responsibilities, but we're getting there. We're pulling that out. So thank you guys for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.